Okay, breaking news. Some of y'all have probably already heard that there was another earthquake in Ridgecrest, California, the same earthquake that happened yesterday on the 4th of July. The earthquake, the 6.4 magnitude earthquake that happened in Ridgecrest, California, 100 miles northeast of California. It's just east of Bakersfield. Another earthquake hit just now, like maybe 20 minutes ago, same spot. It was a 7.1. I think some reports are now saying it's a 6.9. It don't matter because, baby, I'm going to get in and out because I'm waiting for some more stuff to jump off. We were watching the Spider-Man movie. Let me collect my thoughts, y'all. I went downstairs to get some popcorn and some pretzel bites. I come back upstairs. I order the pretzel bites. I come upstairs. I pour the popcorn in each of the kids' little buckets, and I get settled in. I sit down. About to woo-saw, and my chair is vibrating. The theater has those recliner director chairs where, they recline and, they have the little table that you can put in front of you. So I'm reclining and my chair is shaking, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, did they do some remodeling and put in some like nail salon type chairs, to come and, get your nails done, and it does all this and everything. So just as I was thinking that, the one of the attendants came up with my pretzel bites. And so she's setting it down and my chair is still shaking. And I'm like, wait a minute. There wasn't like an extra button to do the vibrating stuff. And I'm not thinking about the earthquake from yesterday because it was an earthquake. And usually the aftershocks are much smaller than the initial earthquake. Yes, just saw this on the news. You felt it in Las Vegas? Yeah, because Ridgecrest is really close to you guys. I was looking at Ridgecrest on the map, and it looks like it's closer to you in Vegas than it is to me. Baby, let me tell y'all what happened. All right. Well, there were like 8 pretzel bites, but the kids were eating them once we got home. Look, she was like, do you feel that shaking? And then I was like, wait a minute. It is shaking. So she dropped my pretzel thing on my table and she took off. So I look around and people are up in the theater and some of them are getting up. They're like turning around, looking to see what the people are doing in the back. And then other people were saying, "Did you feel it? Did you feel it?" And then other people were like, "Well, that was the big one. We're gonna be okay." And then someone was like, "Yeah, but we're way on top because we're at like on the 4th level." All I could think of was, okay, our car, because it's crowded. It's the 4th of July weekend. It's crowded, and we had to park our car on the very top of the covered garage. And for those of y'all that know me, I don't do covered parking garages. I don't even. If there's a stoplight and there's an overpass, I will leave like 2 car lengths in front of me because I will not stop under the underpass waiting for the light to turn green. Because I'm like, nope. Because if there's an earthquake, that little freeway could follow my car, and unless there's a lane next to me where I can go in and get out, I don't do it. My kids have accepted their mother's paranoia about that, and they're fine. But look, she drops the pretzels and she takes off. I'm looking at my kids and I'm like, you know what? It's a lot of people here. It's the 4th of July weekend. If anything pops off, it's a whole bunch of people in this mall, and that's chaos. So I'm like, we got to go. Get up. You, get up. Let's go. So, my youngest son, he took his flip-flops off. He was all reclined in the chair. He's holding on to his popcorn. I snatched his behind up. His popcorn fell down. Now, my other 2 kids, I got to give them props. They were right on line. They fell right in line. Thank you. So they held on to their popcorn. They got up. But here go my husband. Now, he has like plantar fishy whatever on his foot, so he can't really walk that well. And, he's doing some therapy and stuff. So here he go. He getting up. He's lumbering down. I snatched my young one because he was like resisting me. And I'm like, what are you doing? He was like, my flip-flops. And in my mind, I'm like, I don't care about those flip-flops. But then I was thinking that something pops off, I can't have him running with no shoes on. So I'm like, get your flip flops on. So we go down the stairs because we're at the very top of the movie theater. So we get to the the double doors where you go into the theater. We get to the double doors, and just as I'm pushing my boys out, my husband goes, "Oh shoot, I done spilled all the popcorn. See how nervous I am, y'all? Look at that." So just as we get to the doors, we about to break for freedom. Here go my husband. And I saw his face too. It was like this, like a deer in the headlight. My phone. I dropped my phone up there. Y'all, I tell y'all. In my mind, I was like, we will meet you at the car. But you have to show your children that you care for their dad. So my oldest son was like, Dad, you're gonna get us killed. Let's go. So he's starting to walk through the doors, and the doors are open, and we're seeing throngs of people coming out of all the theaters. Some are kind of like jogging, they kind of don't know what's going on, and then others are kind of walking like, should we go back in? And I heard someone yelling, guys, it's calmed down, just go back in. So that's the chaos part. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, he got 20 seconds to get up there and get back down. Because you never know how people, they start getting crazy. In the theater, they serve alcohol. So, people have been drinking, and it's the 4th of July weekend. You got all kind of crazy personalities and dispositions out there. Look, I'm sweating and everything. So he made it within 20 seconds. So we bust through the doors, and I'm like, come on, like my oldest son, I don't have to worry about him. He's agile and he's got good awareness and stuff like that, instincts. So, but I'm like, everybody in front of me so I can see you. And then my youngest one, the slow poke one, I'm holding on to him. And he's mad that I'm holding on to him. He's trying to, get away from me because, he's not a baby. And I'm like, son, when we're in crowds and people are nervous, anything can change the composition of that crowd, and the crowd can go ape crazy. So I gotta see you, and I gotta hold your hand, because I might have to be doing offense with other people around us while also being a protector of you guys. So I'm having conflict with my baby, and then my husband's behind. He's walking like Frankenstein. I mean, it wasn't that bad, y'all, but in my mind, he was moving like this. I'm like, oh my God. So we're walking. So we get to the escalators, but to the right is the exit for the stairs. So I'm like, and there's hardly anybody over there. Everyone's going to the escalators. So I'm like, well, let's do the stairs. And then I'm like, oh man, my husband can't go down the stairs because he's got that plantar fishes. I don't know how you say it, but basically you got a hurt foot, the bottom of your foot. So we can't go down the stairs, which would have been our quick path to freedom and life. So we go over to the escalators. So I'm sizing everything up. And I'm like, okay. I got my sister who is a career Marine and my dad who's a career Marine. So all of those instincts started kicking in. So I see it's a long line of people because there are 16 theaters there. And right before you get on the escalator, there were like 5 or 6 women, a little bit old, like moms and like the daughters. So I'm like, we can cut in front of them because they're not gonna give us any flack. So we're not gonna cut in front of men or people who look like they're stressed out. So we just kind of cut in front of those ladies. They didn't say anything. And then we got on the escalator, go down. And so the thing that was worrying me the most was if there was another aftershock. I don't know the integrity of the buildings here in LA. No one really knows until something happens. So we get down and we're walking out. We're finally out of the mall, and we're walking. We're in the covered parking, and we're like 3 or 4 rows back. So I'm like, boys, as soon as we hit the parking lot area, we go through the big doors and there's the parking lot. I'm like, don't run full speed, but we're going to do a light jog, single file line, stay on the left side away from the cars. So we hustling, we running, we doing some light Usain Bolt. We turn the corner on our lane where our car is. I look back. Here go my husband. Bless his heart. We like this. Me and the kids. And he's like, la 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 la, like the Smurfs. So my son, my oldest son, I hope my husband doesn't see this video. My oldest son was like, Dad, you gotta get us killed. Let's go. So my kids left me. They were already at the car waiting. So I'm like, tick, 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 to get the car to open, the doors to open. So they jump in and I go to the driver's seat because I'm like, look, we're going to have to do some Spider-Man, Iron Man, Avengers style stuff in here. So I back up the car, fix that. And I turn it to the side to kind of meet him where he is because he's struggling. And then my youngest son is, why is he doing this? Why is he walking so slow? I'm like, oh, Lord, baby. He's trying. Daddy's foot is hurt. So he finally gets in. He's got to hold on to the, whatever that little handle is by the door. We have an SUV. And then he like hoisted himself inside and it took him like, in my head, it seemed like it took him 5 seconds to close the door. It should have been 0.3 seconds to close the door. It took him forever. So it took everything in my power not to reverse the car and take off with that door still open. But I didn't want him to fall out the car and tumble over himself because he didn't have a seatbelt on. So I'm like waiting for him to close the door. And then my oldest one's like, Mom, come on. Dad, hurry, get in the car. So I'm like, okay. So he closes the door and I'm zooming off and I'm hitting all the little curves, all the little exits to get down. And there's this little Prius. And let me tell you about these Prius drivers out here. I like y'all, but I notice most of y'all, your cars probably go max 45, which is fine if it's, in a school zone. But when it's business time or rush hour or whatever, you got to go faster. So this Prius got in front of me. And it was deliberately just hitting the brakes for no reason. There was like no car in front of it. So I just had it in front of it. And no disrespect to the Prius driver, but you were about to get us all killed if that building fell down. So I get in front of the Prius and I take off. And my car, I have a really big, huge SUV. And the covered parking, they're really, really low. So I'm hoping like with the shaking, because there's still some little shaking afterward, that it doesn't like bounce my car up and scrape the hood, because the ceiling is like, car, my head is the top of my car, and then that's the ceiling. It's really close. So finally I see the exit onto our street to go home. So right before I turn on the exit, I don't know what child was yelling like, Mom, the what do you call it? The trunk. Mom, the trunk door is open. Everything's falling out. I'm like, what? So I'm driving and I look back and I didn't realize, because all the excitement, there's like a whole bunch of wind blowing in through the car, because I didn't tell you this, Anessa, the trunk was open. Somehow, I don't know what happened, but somebody pushed the trunk release button. It wasn't me. It wasn't me, but somebody pushed it. And so the trunk was open the whole time. Luckily, there was like just some snack bags and stuff from Target, because I took everything out the car, because we were getting some stuff for the renovation. So there was really nothing in the car. And because we're going down, nothing was falling out because the car was angled this way. So I'm driving. I'm like, oh my God, the wind. And I'm thinking, okay, did I take everything out the car? Because sometimes I make, some little private purchases and I put them in the trunk to keep them there so nobody sees. So anyway, I turn off the street. My kids jump out. They try to close the trunk, and then we hop in and then we head home. And the whole time I'm thinking, okay, Lord have mercy. Now we have to do more earthquake talk. Like, how do you handle yourself in a public area during an earthquake? And those are real discussions. And my sister was telling me we really have to role play those situations. Now I have to say, my two oldest kids, they were actually pretty calm and cool until the dad situation happened. So I understand that. But at least I'm proud that they have the urgency and the wherewithal to know, okay, we have to move. We have to move like this, and we got to go. So all that to say, the lady had just brought my pretzel bites. I had 8 of them. And although I was thinking about my kids and our life, I was still thinking about these $9 pretzel bites that I was not going to leave in the theater. And then all the popcorn that I just bought. So it was like $30 worth of snacks. So I had my snacks here. I had Mochi's arm right here, the resistant one, and then my middle child he was already booed up on this arm, and then my oldest one was, leading the pack, and then, of course, the the weakest link was way in the back, and we were gone. So anyway, so I'm gonna get off this live and calm down. My kids are like right there waiting for me to finish so they can finish the pretzel bites and the popcorn, and then the snacks that I brought to the theater, they already finished that. So look, I keep telling my husband I'm ready to go back to Texas. All we have to do is worry about hurricanes and we can prepare for that. But these earthquake things, I can't do it. I can't do it. Wait, I missed something. I'm just tuning in and it seems like something. Okay, so Analia, girl, there was a big earthquake in California yesterday, 4th of July. It was a 6.4 magnitude. Around 8:15 evening, our time, Pacific time, there was another earthquake. It was bigger. It was like a 7.1. Now that earthquake, the same place, is about 100 miles northeast of LA. And we live just right outside of LA. And it hit the aftershock hit us. So the theater we were in, the chairs were vibrating like at a nail salon. So I was literally just laid out like this. Everybody had their popcorn. I was about to get into my pretzel bites, but I was like this. I was literally, the bottom of my feet and my legs I'm not kidding. My feet and my legs were shaking like level 5, the level 5 option in the nail salon, like this. I was like, they got some new chairs in here? And the girl was like, she was like, do you feel that? I'm like, yeah. She dropped my pretzel bites. And that was all she wrote. So anyway, I was just telling everybody how we had to get out of Dodge because no one can predict any of this. Scientists, they try to figure out stuff, but nobody knows. Nobody knows. Let's see. Oh no, I don't do earthquakes. I know. And look, when I first moved here and I had my kids, I would park. It would be the furthest parking spot away because it was like the open air parking spot, and the covered parking spot, like at Target, is right next to the doors. And I would always park way over there. And when my kids started to walk, they didn't have the luxury of being in the stroller. They had a walk. They're like, Mommy, why can't we park over there? Because I'm trying to save your life, and go ahead and thank me right now. So I have already indoctrinated my children in, we don't park in covered parking, and we don't park, we don't wait overpasses, anything that can fall on us, we don't do. Now, my husband, who was born and raised here, they get, native Angelinos, Californians, they get all just cocky, like, oh, we've lived through this and we've done all that. No, they haven't. Most times they were at school somewhere where they got some aftershocks. I haven't met a single Californian who was like, yeah, their furniture was shaking, some windows broke. That happened to us. Our house used to sway like a couple years ago. But they haven't really been in an earthquake where they're like running out to the street or something like that. So, they just kind of take it for granted, but I don't, because I lived through some crazy hurricanes, like Hurricane Alicia back in the 80s in Houston. And those situations, you think you're going to act one way, but when you start seeing other people and their reactions, you start acting differently, sometimes like how the people are. So anyway, so I just wanted to pop in, let y'all know I'm okay. And if you are in California, you need to sit with your kids, your loved ones, and go over situations, the drop, protect your head. Because now they say that the old way of preparing for an earthquake is wrong. You have to cover your head with one hand and use the other hand to hold on to something to brace yourself versus doing this. So anyway, so go over some earthquake techniques with your family, what to do when they're far away. My sister gave some great advice for your older kids. If they have a phone, as soon as something pops off, make sure their location sharing option, which is free on iPhones. I don't know about Androids, but make sure that is on. And, they have the flashlight option on their phone or music. So if something falls on them or whatever, they can like maybe turn that on if they're conscious, turn on a light or play some music so people can like find out where they are. So just things, a conversation to have with your family. So that's the positive takeaway here, is just having, I know, come back to the South, I know. But look, I was talking to my cousin, he lives up in Pennsylvania, and I was like, you know what? I don't know where to go. My mom's in Oklahoma and they have super tornadoes. My sisters are in Houston and we got super hurricanes. And where my cousin is, you got the nor'easters and the super winter storm. There's nowhere safe.
You recording?
And yeah, you want to say hi? There's nowhere safe in this country. This is my middle child he was a rock. He was a G. Want to say hi?
Hello. Oh, anyway,
I know what you want. Come here. Come on, go ahead and take it.
Yes. All right. Now, this is the price.
Now share, but make sure you share, okay?
Okay, I won't. Anyway, when I was chewing like a bean.
Okay, make sure the kids have on closed-toe shoes, because my middle son, well, actually all of them, but my middle son had on flip-flops. One of the flip-flops came off, so that was one reason why he was resisting me, because he was trying to dig his foot to find the flip-flop on the floor. So yeah, closed-toed shoes, all that stuff. All right, guys. So, Vonda, you be careful out there.
When I was chewing like a bean,
Vonda, you be careful out in Las Vegas, because the earthquakes, they don't care about boundaries and state lines. They'll creep on over into Nevada and give y'all a little work. So, you gonna eat that?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all gonna leave me one pretzel bite? Just one?
Oh, yeah, I see.
Okay. Okay. But anyway, so you guys have a wonderful weekend. Be safe, be merry, and I will see you guys on Monday for my Monday Money Moves for kids. And that's it. So love you guys. This is Niki with That Homeschool Life. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and keep living that homeschool life. Bye.